Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We're keeping our focus on the recalled judges. But speaking about perception, what then happens to the case of Justice Ademola if FG keeps that case and they say, no, we have a strong case and we challenge this in appeal and he's been recalled? Does that mean that the appeal by itself does not, as time goes on, constitute a stay?
Well, we will not do legal practice on the media. But when the judgment was handed down, was there anything that stopped the prosecution from appealing almost immediately and asking for stay? Well, that is on one perspective. Another perspective is if there is an appeal proceeding on that, NJC may reconsider its position. And I can tell you that the Senate President is still undergoing trial and is sitting.
They're uncomfortable. What happens to?
No, I'm not talking about. There is no way to measure whether he's comfortable or uncomfortable.
Okay, what happens in this present case of the recall of the judges? What if those of them recalled don't feel comfortable with what has happened?
That is a personal decision. Then some of the judges may on their own resign. They may decide on their own to resign. That is a personal decision, an individual decision. But we're looking at the corporate and institutional framework.
What do you expect from the prosecutors?
I expect that they should review their cases with respect to these judges. If there are still any of them that they have a good case against, after thorough analysis, they should proceed to prosecute such judge.
Is it out of line, for instance, to say that the prosecution should owe, to a large extent, the judges an apology?
Well, that's what the fundamental rights enforcement rules say, because very likely, in my personal opinion, maybe because they may not want to do that, an ordinary person, a non-judge will likely file for fundamental rights enforcement.
You have been able to go through at least some of these cases and have seen possibly some of them in the past. What recommendations came out of it?
Well, my opinion is that all these cases that have been lost, I mean, in the process of prosecution and all that, are pointers that we should begin as a country to pay serious attention to investigation and prosecution of offenders. It is not enough to have Administration of Criminal Justice Act and laws all over. We have enough laws in this country, but we should begin to look at our investigation. We should begin to look at our prosecution and match them from the onset. By the time we match them from the onset, much of these issues will be away, because as you are investigating, you are analyzing for prosecution. You have all that you need, or you don't have what you need, and we should be sincere to ourselves. If there's a person that an accused that isn't enough evidence to prove the charge, the person should be let go. We must not persecute. And that's why in the United States, for example, and many other countries, they go through some form of arrangements at the plea bargain and all that. That's how it came in. Because when you look at it, that you may not achieve the level of proof that the law requires. And the accused also is not sure whether the accused will escape conviction. The parties, the prosecution and the accused, will sit down to say, okay, can we enter into a bargain?
What if, speaking about perception, the executive thinks, look, they're not sure on what side the judiciary is in terms of the fight against corruption, because how can we have a case against, maybe they anchor it on Justice Ademola saying we've appealed, yet the NJC went ahead and recalled them. Maybe they say, look, we've lost confidence in the judiciary. Will that suffice?
Well, any party can say what he wants. that doesn't determine the issues. In a case that is decided, in each case that is decided by the courts, one party will believe in the judiciary, the other will not believe in the judiciary.
What about in this case?
The same it could also apply here. But we are looking at the rules. Has NJC complied with the statutory requirements? Answer, yes. Does NJC have the support of the bar? The answer is yes.